Hey, it's Cassie from Curry Honda in Chicopee. You're listening to the Bax and Nagle podcast on Rock 102. Come see us at Curry Honda for the best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. Experience the best at Curry Honda. Thanks for listening.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 5:52 in AC/DC with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. There we go. I'll try that now.
Well, hi. How are you?
Steve, how are you?
I'm doing good, Bax. How are you?
Terrific.
Well, I guess we'll eventually get to the weather. It's going to be, well, there was snow this morning, which was a little bit of a surprise.
A little upsetting, frankly.
But that'll all go away by the afternoon. High of 38 today. Tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds with a high of 43. Looking at 32 right now in downtown Springfield.
Hollywood Trash is brought to you by Western Mass Masons. Call Western Mass Masons for all your foundation and chimney needs.
Somehow you still care about what's happening in Hollywood. So, from Tinseltown, 3,000 miles away, it's Steve Nagle's Hollywood Trash.
Jack White and Post Malone are set to headline the NFL Thanksgiving Day halftime shows. White will perform at the Detroit Lions versus Green Bay game, while Malone will kick off the Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign at the Dallas Cowboys versus Kansas City Chiefs matchup.
Wouldn't it be crazy if you found out that they got this story wrong and it's actually Jack Black and Karl Malone instead?
Yeah, well, I guess yeah.
That'd be disappointing to me.
Why? What's wrong with Jack Black and Karl Malone?
Well, I don't know if Karl Malone can sing. Two, I'm a fan of Jack White. Jack White is a friend of mine. Jack Black is no Jack White.
I'm sure Karl Malone has belted out a few notes here and there over the years.
Yeah, he sings every time he didn't win an NBA championship.
I mean, we're not artists, but we sing Billy Ocean and Christopher Cross.
Just because you and I have legitimate talent.
Have you heard? Did you go back and listen to those podcasts?
No, not yet.
Yeah. Well, maybe I would suggest you do before you make that assessment that we are professionals. Anyway, White, a Detroit native and Grammy winner, was recently inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, while Malone, a Texas native and Cowboys fan, has received multiple Grammy nominations. Malone's 2024 country album, F1 Trillion, earned him a Grammy nomination for Best Country Album. Malone will continue his world tour after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever paid attention to the halftime shows on the Thanksgiving Day games. Aren't you too busy getting up and getting more snacks from the leftover Thanksgiving dinner that you just had?
I'm not going to put aside my meal just to watch Post Malone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like Jack White, don't get me wrong, but I'm not interested in my meal for anybody.
Yeah.
Just not going to do it.
Not going to do it. Kylie Jenner recently shared a mirror selfie on Instagram featuring a black tank top and low-rise pants with a sporty edge.
Well, she must have something to say.
Nah, she didn't have anything to say about this. The outfit showcased her sculpted midsection and clean, streamlined look. Jenner kept the accessories minimal and opted for soft makeup and loose waves for her hair. The post also included photos from her mother's 70th birthday party and shots of her kids, Stormy and Adair. How is it nude photos? The headline says nude.
Nearly nude.
So that's not nude.
No, so nude is nude. I think if you saw... Listen, if I were nude in front of you, you'd say, why are you nude? But if I were wearing, like, socks, you'd probably just say, what's with the socks?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Why are you wearing socks at a time like this?
I mean, it just seems inappropriate in a way.
Meghan Markle has faced criticism from a royal commentator for being disconnected from reality in her recent business ventures. The Duchess of Sussex has launched several products this year, including a Netflix series, a lifestyle brand, and a podcast series. She has also returned to acting in a new movie where she will play herself. The commentator suggested that Meghan's actions are for great headlines and that positive coverage is due to carefully crafted wins. She's set to release a Christmas special for her Netflix series on December 3rd. Oh, great. Something else I won't ever watch. I have no interest in Meghan Markle and...
Really?
Yeah.
Not even a little bit?
Not even a little bit.
That's too bad.
Let's see. Dancing with the Stars... well, that's political stuff. I don't want to do that.
Nah, you don't like
that. How is this getting so... The Hollywood worries about the movies and the TV shows, and then the politics worries about whatever they worry about?
I think some people think you care.
They do?
Some people do. I mean, I don't. You don't. Most people don't.
Justin Bieber recently opened up about his rib injury during a Twitch live stream detailing a skateboarding accident that caused immense pain. The Grammy-winning singer shared the incident with fans, expressing the severity of his discomfort. Despite the injury, Bieber performed a live rehearsal for viewers and revealed that even simple actions like laughing and talking were painful. It's much like how it is when I listen to his music.
Yes.
Painful. And I sometimes have to laugh to get rid of the pain. This injury comes after a previous leg injury earlier in the year, but fans are still looking forward to seeing Bieber headline at the 2026 Coachella Music Festival, along with other popular artists.
Wait a minute, he's the headliner at Coachella?
Yeah.
Isn't that everything you need to know that you don't want to go to Coachella?
Well,
you're going to spend $500 for a ticket to see that?
That's like one of those multi-day things, right?
Yeah. I'd leave the day before.
I have no interest in going to a music festival with a bunch of sweaty almond people.
I don't want to be in a crowd of that size ever.
No.
Bieber or none.
Maybe when you were younger.
Even then, I'd have to say maybe this isn't really my bag.
Yeah, you get a few pops in your back, you'd be up for doing anything.
No.
Yeah.
If I get a few pops in me, I'm going to be looking for a bathroom for the next 2 hours.
Yeah, that's true. Like everybody else at Coachella.
Right.
And then you're standing in line, you're waiting 2 hours to use the Porta-John that is destroyed by the time you get to it.
Right, because 2,000 people have already used it before me.
The estate of O.J. Simpson has agreed to pay nearly $58 million to the father of Ron Goldman following a creditor's claim filed in Las Vegas. Simpson, who was acquitted of the 1994 murders of his ex-wife and Goldman's son, was found liable in a civil case in 1997. After Simpson's death in 2024, Fred Goldman filed the claim against the estate, which includes the original amount plus the interest that has never been paid. The estate has approved the payment, and the probate judge is overseeing the settlement of Simpson's estate and trust, which involves auctioning off personal items. Simpson's death certificate cited prostate cancer as the cause of death.
It's been 31 years, and the Goldmans haven't gotten what's been coming to them.
No, it's about time they do, you know.
And Fred Goldman's still alive?
That was surprising to me. I was pretty sure he passed away, but I think it was the wife that passed away.
Oh, maybe that's it.
A few years ago. I'm not, don't take that as,
Yeah,
as
that's
fact.
I had no idea.
Let's see. And then Kim Kardashian shocked the paparazzi outside of a Hollywood gala when her zipper on her gown burst, giving cameras an X-rated glimpse of her famous backside.
Really? Well, she must have had something to say.
Oh my God, the last time I had something blow wide open exposing that much rump roast was when Ray J slid the trouser torpedo into the funnel cake factory in that sex tape you can purchase on YouPorn for $39.95.
Caitlin?
I never got that done and dirty with your mother, Chris Kim, but one wild night I went deep dish into the stuffed crust. I pile drove the tuna tunnel like a wrecking ball, knocking down a condemned property.
What are you trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is I was speed cranking the slot canyon like Mike Tyson pounding a speed bag.
You ever wear it out like Mike Tyson's speed bag backs it?
Weapon.
She detonated like a can of Bud Light left on a radiator at Daytona. Oh, your mother. And that's your Hollywood trash on Rock 102.
And now, Bax's View from the Couch. Brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware, Outdoor Power Headquarters, Steel, Ego, Craftsman, Toro, DeWalt.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Folks, I don't care about who you are or on what level you're operating. There's always got to be somebody who's wildly unimpressed with whatever you do. For example, let's say that you were about to save a bunch of children from a bus hanging off a cliff. You arrive at the scene, you get every kid off the bus, and you save the life of the bus driver just before the bus falls off the cliff. Now, in most cases, everybody be calling you a hero. Everybody but the jackhole that wants to send you the bill for the bus. You see where I'm going here? Some people simply cannot be impressed, even when things are at their most obvious. For example, over the last couple of days, while everyone around the NFL is hammering on Patriots quarterback Drake May as being the odds-on favorite to become the league MVP, there's at least a couple of people who have chosen to ignore everything he's done. On Friday, ESPN's Bart Scott was asked about Drake May as the MVP, and according to Scott, and I quote, MVP? I think that's disrespectful to Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, and Matthew Stafford. Now you know. I said it out loud. Meanwhile, you had Cam Newton on ESPN talking about the Patriots, saying, quote, it has fool's gold written all over it. Hubert Zirconia, middle of the mall. Is Drake May playing good football? Absolutely. And I would like to attest his great play to one specific person that I know well, Josh McDaniels. Folks, let's put all this naysaying into perspective. One, Bart Scott played 7 seasons for the Ravens and 4 seasons for the Jets. He's never played with a good quarterback in his life. Cam Newton used to be a decent quarterback until he unsuccessfully tried to replace a great quarterback like Tom Brady, which he absolutely could not do. In other words, he hasn't seen a real good quarterback either. So to ask these two guys about Drake May or any Patriots quarterback is never going to yield actual objectivity. What it yields is a mountain full of bitterness and hostility. Because I don't know what sort of quarterback they think they're looking at, but it certainly ain't the one that's about to become the league's MVP. But hey, never mind yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. Milwaukee is in East Longmeadow. So is DeWalt and Craftsman. There's one more name in the tool department of the East Longmeadow Rockies, Keith, a seasoned tool expert. Keith knows power tools, hand tools, chainsaws, all of it. Good people like Keith, rock solid service at every Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock at 6:13 and Journey with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It's going to be a mix of sun and clouds today with a high of 38. Tomorrow, more of the same with a high of 43. It's 32 right now in downtown Springfield.
Speaking of Journey, Pat Kelly's going to have tickets to see Journey on their Final Frontier tour at the People's Bank Arena in Hartford on March 14th. So listen, if you can endure Pat for at least a couple of days, maybe you'll win tickets.
That's the worst part about having to endure the contest, but look at the prize that's there. It's Journey tickets.
Right.
You know.
And this is likely their last go-round.
I wonder if that guy driving around with the Journey fan all over the back. You ever see that guy driving around town? He has the whole, the emblem of the Journey, whatever, what is that? Was that a bird or something? What is that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. It's a spread eagle, I believe.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and it's and the guy's he's got the license plate that says Journey fan on it. You never seen that guy driving around?
I can't say I have.
Yeah.
But
he's a little too into it. How much can you love Steve Perry enough that you'd get your back of your windshield or your back window wrapped?
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, he has his fans. I would be far more disturbed if it were like a Jonathan Cain, rapping on a car. That's a little creepy,
cringy.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Well, either way, weekend. The weekend was good.
Sure.
Well, I mean, all things considered.
I mean, it was a couple of days long. I could have used a few more days, but, all in all, I mean, no issues.
Right. I hosted a sleepover for my daughter and her friends on Friday night, which actually went pretty smooth.
Really?
There's no issues. I told you, I locked myself in my bedroom. Ponch and John were on all night long, and I fell asleep to the sweet sounds of the Chips theme.
Ah, yes.
Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum.
What a great way to relax.
Oh, why not? You can. The thing about watching that show, I know I keep talking about it, but it's the hot new show.
Sure, yeah. TV. Everyone's talking about it.
The thing, when you watch it it was meant to be week after week.
Yes.
You have to wait a whole week, or then you'd have to wait an entire summer for the next season to come out back in the day.
Sure.
But when you're watching it episode after episode after episode, they're using the same soundtrack for each police chase. It's the same thing over and over and over again.
You understand that in 1979, maybe 1980, there was no such thing as binge watching anything. You didn't binge watch a thing. And so, people assumed on the network side that if it's taken you a week to see the next Chips episode, you will have forgotten all about what songs were played when, about all the car crashes. You would have ignored. You would probably forgotten. Wow, that Eric Estrada sure wears his shirts awfully tight.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have remembered that week after week. You binge watch one after another. It's the first thing you notice.
Right.
Yeah.
But you don't notice that when you're watching it piecemeal, over time. And it's like, wow, they're using the same exact music for this chase as they used in the previous episode. And nobody noticed back in the day because, you were just waiting for the next episode to come on. So anyway, it was success. And, I got up and made pancakes and all that.
Oh, that's
good
nice.
Stuff. Yeah. And I was like, get the hell out of my house.
Yeah.
All right, you can leave now. That's what I said to each one of them as they were leaving.
That was nice.
You can leave now.
Yeah. We're done with. We're done here.
When's your mother coming to pick you up? That I did a show on Saturday night with Marty and Darren Rivera over at the Tiger AC Club in Chicopee.
Right.
Wow, what a
good times.
Oh man, what a bougie place that is.
Is it real?
Yeah.
I can't say I've ever been to the Tiger Club.
Yeah. Well, at least they have a divider, those old shutter-like dividers between the food hall and the bathrooms.
Like saloon door type of things, or.
No, like those old things from the 70s. It was like a partition.
Oh,
but
yes.
But it's like made out of shutters. It's like wooden shutters. Yeah, they have that separated. It gives it a little bougie appeal to it.
Especially when the toilet flushes, since there's very little to stop the sound.
It's funny. Like I'm watching people, drink copious amounts of alcohol on Saturday night, and the drinks are like $3.50 or $4. And comparatively to anywhere else you go, there was people going, if you go down to like the Whip City Pub in Westfield, this thing's $9 for one drink.
Active alcoholics are usually really good at spotting a deal.
Yeah,
you want to get like good bargain prices.
Yeah.
Ask a functional alcoholic, hey, where's the best place to get a really cheap cocktail?
That is some.
He's got to know.
That's some good stuff. And, if I was still drinking, I'd be heading to the Tiger AC Club to get my fill.
Of course you would.
Yeah.
But you're not, and you won't.
And there was one table that was a little too chatty. I don't know why you spend money on something only to sit there and talk the entire time during the show while multiple people, it wasn't just me.
Yeah.
It was everybody.
Well, especially a show that requires the audience to listen.
Yeah.
To what is being performed.
And
like it could be a concert. It could be even a comedy show.
Right.
Even a poetry reading. You wouldn't want to be talking in the middle of it. You're disrupting not only the people around you, but also the person performing on stage.
Exactly. And these people were being very, very rude throughout the whole, and to the point where they were annoying the other people who were drinking at the place. So
were other people saying, "Will you please shut up"?
I think there was a shh, shh, shh. But people, I don't know if it's, they must have had Tourette's or something. They were just yelling things out in the middle of the set.
I believe alcohol tends to promote that.
Is it?
Yeah,
Is
that
it
kind of
really?
impulsive, that kind of impulsive action that you just can't help it.
Right.
Let it all out.
Yeah, just you have no manners.
It's an involuntary response. That's what I meant to say.
All right. Well, either way, most of the people had a good time, except
that's
that one
good.
table who clearly wasn't interested in watching a show that they paid $20 for, on a Saturday night. But either way,
I had fun on Saturday morning. We went to the Holyoke Mall.
get out of here.
I can't. Right?
What? You know what? Every time I say that Mrs. Bax and Nagle can't get any luckier. You throw a curveball like that out there that you went to the Holyoke Mall.
Went to the Holyoke Mall, and I got to tell you, I walked around. I held a lot of bags. We did our shopping. I got a nice shirt out of it, and then as I'm walking around, I'm like, the holidays are right around the corner. Black Friday is less than a week.
Yeah,
less than a week away.
Yeah,
and whoo, man, there was lots of places that didn't seem to be doing a whole hell of a lot of business in the Holyoke Mall.
Well, hey, it's the dead time right now.
Yeah, well, this isn't a real big time for like retail.
No,
I get it.
No,
I understand that, but I'm just like, wow, it's a surprising number of. I mean, listen, if I want to get my eyebrows done, now's the time to go.
You want to do something really crazy and romantic with your wife at the Holyoke Mall?
What?
Say, baby, do you want to go on that broken escalator and pretend there's stairs? I'll take you all the way up to the second level.
We could go down, but we can't get up.
Yeah,
can't back up.
That's right.
We're going down, and I can't get up.
Look at you, suave romancing with the Holyoke
I'm a real
Mall.
makeout master.
Hey, baby, guess where we're going today? The Holyoke Mall.
Put on your finest outfits. Today we're going to Holyoke, the Ingleside section.
What is how's the lyrics go to Atlantic City? Get your hair real pretty. Meet me in Holyoke City. Yeah.
It's 6:22 at Rock 102. Hi, it's Bax from Rock 102. Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock. It's 6:27 with Bax and Nagle and Rock 102.
Liam will have the full forecast for you.
Real quick, this week on Baxi's Musical Podcast, my guest is David Haskins, David J. from Bauhaus and Love It Rockets. A wildly influential musician. He's got a brand new band called David J. and the Resistance. They're about to release a new single called Ice Too Cold to Thaw, and he released an album a couple months ago called The Mother Tree. Really powerful, beautiful record. And you can hear that interview on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, the Rock 102 YouTube channel, rock102.com, as well as the app. And it's all brought to you by Metro Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram at Chicopee, and Rock 102 Springfield's classic rock.
Sweet. You ready to laugh?
Yes.
Let's laugh right here.
It's Bax and Nagle's Joke of the Day
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown. I amuse you.
on Rock 102,
I make you laugh.
Springfield's classic rock.
A man at a funeral interrupts the priest and says, "Excuse me, do you have the Wi-Fi password?" And the priest stares at him and says, "Good God, man, have some decency. This is your mother's funeral." And the guy goes, "Is that all lowercase?" Like that was the password to the Wi-Fi. It was really just being rude.
6:32 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. The Mass State Police were sent to a crash involving a flipped vehicle on I-291 westbound in Springfield last night. The crash involved two vehicles. First responders, including an ambulance, were sent to the crash. Is that what they do in an emergency?
Sometimes, yeah.
Footage captured by 22 news crews showed what appeared to be a red pickup truck flipped in a ditch on the side of the highway just before exit 5. You know what they're saying? They're not using what they saw anymore. They're rewording it to what they saw by saying the footage captured by the 22 news crew showed what appeared to be a red pickup truck flipped in a ditch on the side of the highway.
You know what? I'm almost willing to accept that for now.
For now, until they keep saying it.
That's better than what we saw.
Yeah.
Even though it's really the same thing.
Officers closed the right travel lane while the fire crews worked to free one of the passengers who was trapped. There's no word yet on whether anyone was injured or what caused the crash. A Turner's Falls woman was arrested following a crash in Vermont for allegedly driving under the influence. Vermont police stated at approximately 1:02 a.m. on Thursday. Ooh, 1:02. She must. I wonder if she was listening to our station while this happened.
Was she driving back from a $20 dinner and a comedy show?
She might have been. Troopers were called to I-91 in Dummerston.
That's ironic.
That is ironic. Regarding a single vehicle crash, police spoke to the operator, identified as 31-year-old Chrissy Whitney of Turner's Falls, during which time they noticed signs of impairment. Whitney was arrested for suspicion of DUI and brought to the Westminster Barracks for processing. They said that Whitney was being processed. While she was being processed, she reportedly assaulted an official. She was later released on a citation to appear in a Vermont Superior Court on December 9th to answer the charges of DUI and assault of a protected professional.
It was going so well up until that assault part.
Yeah.
Yeah, she might have been able to get away with a warning, but once you put up your dukes with a cop and start throwing haymakers, then that's it.
She wouldn't have gotten away with a warning for a DUI, but
no,
at least
but
it would have been a more pleasurable experience for everybody involved.
Yeah, listen, if you start swinging at a cop, they've got things on them that you don't have on you, like a gun, a taser, a club.
Well, they warn you when they arrest you. They're like, look, if you just stay calm and do what we say, everybody's going to have a good time, and we're going to have fun, and you'll be out of here in no time.
Exactly.
Well, when you start spitting and kicking
and
punching.
and puffing up,
you
don't want to puff up to a cop.
No. The event aims to reduce. Or I'm sorry, I'm moving ahead here.
Go on.
I'm putting in the wrong thing. The Holyoke Fire Department was sent to Hadley Mills Road for a trailer fire Sunday evening. The department states that the crews were sent at 6:40 p.m. and found the 53-foot trailer fully on fire. No nearby buildings caught fire, and efforts to put out the fire were challenging because of terrain. There were no injuries reported from the incident, and the cause is being investigated at this time. I have to say, there was a couple of posts over the weekend in the local community forums.
Mm-hmm.
One was from the South Hadley Forum. What was that noise? That was it. And then listen, if you just go into any community forum in the country and write something like that, I guarantee you will have experts on sound coming out of the woodwork. Oh, I thought it was from the bass. I didn't hear it. It sounded like a crack. Maybe it was an IED. You know, it's like all these like weird things that people are. Maybe it was a ghost.
And then, the person that originates it, 15 minutes later says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I dropped my pen."
Yeah, right, right.
That's what that noise was.
Thing. And then the other one, I can't. Oh, yeah, the other one was a picture. These busybodies. This was on the Westfield Forum. Some guy took a picture outside of the trampoline park in Westfield.
Yeah,
and there was 2 cop cars that clearly something was going on.
Or maybe those guys were just on the trampolines.
Yeah, you know what? Did anybody ever think that maybe because the guy was like, does anybody know what's going on here?
Maybe a cop likes to bounce like the rest of us.
I don't understand. What is it? Just like I need attention? That I can't just. Well, if you're so interested, why don't you just walk up to a cop on the scene and go, "Hey, what's going on here? I'm a tax-paying citizen that posts on this community forum here."
Yeah, if you go up to a cop and you ask legitimate questions, you're not getting the same kind of likes and engagement that you would get if you did it on Facebook or Instagram.
It's just, to me, it's just a waste of your time, because then you have 25 people all trying to explain what happened, and always somebody bringing in some sort of political ideology into it, and then and that starts another argument over that.
Yeah, you see 2 cops at a trampoline park. Next thing you know, you got some guy going, "Frickin' Democrats."
Yeah, you're right. The damn libs with the trampolines bouncing us around. It's crazy.
There goes Trump again.
There he is.
What is it, an ice raid over there?
Wow, what's going on? I have to take him all and put him back. Bring him to Sing Sing. Arr!
Yes.
Arr, the pirates of Westfield Community Forums. Oh, I'm on the high seas. Oh, look, police ahoy! There they are outside the Funzy Trampoline Park. What do you think they be doing there, matey?
Follow me for more planks and tips.
Yeah, right. Mind your own damn business. Can you not? Do you have to? Do you have to do that?
Well, if you're going to be part of a community, Steve, you want to be part of the community. You don't want to just go. Yeah, you don't want to be bouncing around town not knowing what's going on.
But talk about something that's worthwhile. What are you doing to help your community? Are you doing anything, or are you just being Are you being the Mrs. Kravitz of Westfield by taking all the pictures?
But
Abner,
wouldn't you rather see that though than some of these AI generated questions that show up on these forums? Like, what's the best place to get a Hungarian meal in Hamden? But
what?
What?
Hungarian?
What's there's no.
Is there a lot of Hungarian restaurants out there?
There's
in
hungry
Hamden?
people, but there's no Hungarians. I mean, it's like.
Well, I mixed up the 2 words, so.
Yeah, so it's clearly driven by AI.
Yeah.
There are no options in Hamden for that.
I wish I had that much anger in me to post something on a community forum to draw up attention.
Well, I don't think the people that appear to have that anger really have that anger. I think they're just looking for attention. You could easily put something in a community forum and let her rip.
Yeah, I guess
and
I could.
fake outrage. Most outrage is.
We got to come up with something to something innocuous.
But like a real passionate cause.
Yeah, and then take a picture of it and then go, does anybody know?
Can you explain this?
What jerk did this? Or like take a picture of a traffic cone.
Yeah.
Who put this traffic cone on the side of the road over this pothole? You'd think they would inform the citizens before they make a move like that.
Where was the community meeting on this?
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is, it's like, you're taking a picture of the outside of a trampoline park, and you got all these people speculating on, criminals or, again, with the political stuff and all that stuff. Could it be that maybe there was like a medical thing and they're just checking it out? It's really none of your business what's going on there. I mean,
isn't there like a Dunkin' close by? Maybe they just, they got their donuts and they're just like, let's get away from the Dunkin', so we just park in front of the trampoline park.
The Dunkin' is in the other plaza, that's just further down. It's that Westfield Shops area there.
Yeah.
So it's at the very end. So maybe they were on their way. Maybe they said, you know what, your Dunkin' order is ready. They flipped the lights on. They got to get to the other end of the parking lot somehow.
And they just happen to stop there.
Or maybe, like you said, maybe they were using the trampolines. Maybe it was an escort for General Patton McCabe out there.
Right.
Maybe he likes to go on the trampolines at night. And they're like, listen, we got to protect you, sir. You have a full hour to yourself at the trampoline park.
Well, it's good for things like circulation and balance.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
all those other things. I can see why a cop would want to be in a bounce house. Sure, why not?
Mind your own damn business is what it comes down to. On Friday, a 32-year-old man pled guilty in federal court in Springfield to making threats online. Michael Rogers of Windsor was arrested in April of 2024. I don't know if that's Windsor, Connecticut or Windsor, Mass.
Let's assume it's one or the other.
In 2023, he posted a thread on a review page for a Springfield medical practice saying, they're going to get what's coming soon, with a photo of someone holding a gun. Just a year later, Rogers submitted another threat saying, give me my money or I'm going to start dropping people. This time to report to a fraud reporting website for the Social Security Administration office. He went on to threaten children and an entire school. I think that was the thing that probably drove you over the edge. Rogers will be sentenced in February and could face up to 5 years in prison.
Well, so many mistakes were made here, don't you think?
I think there's lots of mistakes being made. It's when you took it too far with the threatening of the children in the school. That line itself of I'm going to start dropping people isn't technically fall under the veil of a threat, but when you add it to the other things that he did, then that just becomes
like the picture of the gun. Yeah, that'd be different.
Well, what kind of gun was it? Was it a water gun or was it a real gun?
Some people can't tell the difference. If you had like a chocolate cream pie, so you're going to get it, then all of a sudden you think, well, there's going to be a pie fight somewhere.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, that would have been the better image.
Let's see.
Because who doesn't love a pie fight?
Well, here's something that you can look forward to before the end of the year. As 2025 comes to a close, concerns are rising over the potential fulfillment of a famous prophecy by Nostradamus, predicting catastrophic events including warfare in England, a meteor strike, and a new ruler emerging. The astrologer also foretold the end of a long war and the emergence of a new conflict on British soil, along with a fresh pandemic. Additionally, Nostradamus predicted an asteroid impact, political clashes among great powers, and a shift in global influence towards new world powers. However, experts caution against taking these prophecies too literally, emphasizing the metaphorical and historical context of Nostradamus' writings. Kim Kardashian.
Yes.
Because everything comes back to her eventually. Now look at all the money she's got.
Right.
She's got money for the top astrologers that the best astrologers money could buy.
Sure.
They all told her that she would pass the bar exam with flying colors. And then here she was last week bitching about how all those psychics and astrologers were completely wrong because she failed the bar exam.
Well, were they saying she passed with flying colors, or would she take the test wearing flashy colors?
Maybe it was taking the test wearing the flashy colors. So just because when was Nostradamus? When was that?
Nostradamus was born in 1503 and died in 1566. So for 63 years, he somehow magically was able to predict everything that was going to happen for the next 459 years.
Now, did he predict his own death?
That he never saw coming.
See, that's what I'm getting at. If you're so good at predicting things.
He also used to buy a lot of scratch tickets, and they all lost.
Oh, was he the one standing at the Pride Station when he walked out? I'll take a number 4, a number 18, 3 number 6s. How much money do I have left now? I'll take 8 number 8s, 15 number 40s.
And a couple of quick picks on the Powerball. Nostradamus needs a brand new pair of shoes.
And a pack of Philly Blunts. Just like Grandpa used to smoke.
Yeah, I'm not buying Nostradamus anymore.
Your Pioneer Valley forecast today is going to be mix of sun and clouds with a high of 38. Tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds with a high of 43. Looking at 32 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Oh, yeah.
Download the Rock 102.
It's 6:49 with Bax and Nagle and Rock 102.
I just gave you the forecast.
Believe it or not, the Mayflower Marathon begins in 7 days. That's right. Next Monday, the start of the Mayflower Marathon, Monday, November 24th, starts at 6 a.m., and we take it all the way to Wednesday, the 26th at 10 a.m. with the goal to fill as many trailers with non-perishable food as we can possibly stuff for the open pantry. Start your collection up at work, at school, around the neighborhood, around the home, or whatever. You can also donate online at rock102.com. Thanks to some of our sponsors, including Capital Moving and Storage, Armit Trucking, Xfinity, Camping World of West Hatfield, Michael's Party Rentals, MGM Springfield, and more. Get all the details at rock102.com. The Mayflower Marathon, 7 days away from today from Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. Somebody sent me a link of a video that was on the Boston Globe YouTube channel. Yeah. And it was about a video of these two people in Springfield that had just lost their SNAP benefits. And these are people that had a home, they had an apartment, they were, the woman was a single mom, the guy was an elderly gentleman, and it just talked about food insecurity in general, but particularly with the SNAP benefits being cut during the government shutdown. It is a powerful piece of footage, and I posted it on my Facebook page. You'll probably post it on the Bax and Nagle page too. It's something definitely worth checking out. It gives you maybe a little bit more of a perspective of what's really going on here. It's a really amazing video.
Well, it gives you more perspective of what's going on, and pay no attention to the noise that surrounds the criticism of people who have utilized SNAP benefits or food supplements from food pantries.
There's an incredible wisdom, particularly from the elderly gentleman in this video, and I am going to post on the Bax and Nagle page. It needs to be seen by more people.
All right, well, I'll share it too.
All right,
we'll
good.
all share it.
Terrific.
Everybody shares.
Everybody share.
That's how we make an event like this successful. When everybody shares, it's like our own little version of Stone Soup.
Yes. Yeah. Today, you and I are going to be recording something with Dave Mattson. At Western Mass News. Dave, of course, as you know, has been long retired, but yet still finds his way working 2 or 3 days a week.
I'm not going to lie, but I've run into Dave Mattson once in a while at the Southampton Road Cumberland Farms, and we're both buying scratch tickets at the same time because we're just chasing that dream.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, but it's not that I wouldn't say to Dave's face, this is the worst retirement plan I've ever seen in my life. At least Barry, when he retired, Barry faded into obscurity.
Yeah.
Like aggressively faded into obscurity. So when you see like a Barry sighting, it's kind of like seeing Bigfoot in the woods.
Well, everybody but everybody remembers who he was.
Oh, yeah, there's no question that you remember. Barry is one of those unforgettable guys. Dave is one of those unforgettable guys. But Dave has not figured out a way to fully embrace a retirement the way, say, like a Barry has.
Frankly, both of them are people you'd like to forget, in a way.
Oh, I'm not going to sit here and have you say that.
Well, maybe Dave and I can come to fisticuffs today on the show.
Let's hope you don't.
Don't you want people to watch it?
Well, yeah, no, I do. I mean, I kind of want people to say, "Ooh, that'll be an interesting show."
Yeah.
But but nevertheless, we'll be talking about the Mayflower Marathon, and that'll be going up sometime this weekend.
And we are very appreciative of the partnership that we have with Channel 40, or Western Mass News, if you will.
Yes,
that's how you know how old I am when I start referring to it as Channel 40. There ain't no channel anymore. It's actually whatever. What is it? Channel 4 or whatever.
Well, that's on the cable. But yes, listen. I've been working at Wacky for a long time, and I have a great deal of affection for Channel 40.
Oh, do you? Do you now? Well,
I sure do.
It'll be fun heading over there. Yesterday, I took in my ever quest to learn more about the cities and towns of Western Massachusetts, I took a tour all the way up on Route 2 through towns like Savvy. And
I believe it's pronounced Savoy.
And is it?
That's my understanding.
Listen, if you want to change what about Northams?
No, Steve, I believe that's pronounced North Adams.
No. It's the town north of them other ones. That's why
it
do
may
that.
be. It may be.
Yeah, and Florida. We went to Florida, Massachusetts.
I believe it is pronounced Florida.
It is out in the middle of freaking nowhere.
That is absolutely true.
I was on these dirt roads. I don't understand how the Google map system works. Isn't Google supposed to give you like paved routes?
It does not always, because there are many streets in this great country of ours that are unpaved.
So I now, not knowing really where I was going, other than by I knew what direction I was going in and where I was going, and looking at the map, going, oh, okay, well, that's pretty a straight shot right up to Route 2 from Huntington, and it was not such a straight shot. I got on Route 8A north, and then it had you turn like a right onto this dirt road that went for like 3.5 miles, and you had to go like 10 miles an hour because it was like a minefield, which brings you to the Savoy State Forest somehow. And then once you get on that, and you go another 3 miles, and then all of a sudden you're on Route 2, and boom, you're in Florida.
If it could only be so simple.
I'm sorry, Florida. I was pronouncing it wrong. Yes, of course. Then, so we went to all those towns. I got some Dalton. We went to there.
I believe that's Dalton.
Winesore. We went to
Winesore. Oh, no, Steve, that's Windsor.
Lanesborough.
No, Steve, that's Lanesboro.
Oh, is that
yes,
is that where it is?
That's exactly where it is.
And another one I never knew, New Ashford. That's the actual way you say it.
Yeah, right.
I thought it was Ashfield.
That's a different town.
It's a different one.
Yes.
New Ashford.
There's an Ashford and a Simpson. And then there's Ashfield.
And if anybody can get me, all I need is a 1-second clip. That's all I need of the town of Hancock, because it was a little too far out of the way, and I really want to do a video on that. So if anybody can find, all I need is one little second video clip of the sign that says "Entering Hancock." And I don't know if they have one of those, because there are some towns that don't have those signs.
Yeah.
Like Montgomery, Mass.
They don't have one?
They don't have one of those. You're now entering. Most of those signs are on like state routes. There's no state route that goes through towns like Montgomery.
Well, there's got to be someone who goes from Hancock to Athol every day. Must have pictures.
Yeah, but I think you go from Hancock to Yarmouth and then back to Athol.
Oh, you're going way out of your way.
What about Coxsackie, New York? Have you ever been there before?
I have not been.
I have
not entered into that area.
That's very close to Hancock. That's closest to Hancock that you'll ever get is Coxsackie, New York.
It's 6:58 at Rock 102.com.
And now, Bax's View from the Couch Brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware, Outdoor Power Headquarters. Steel, Ego, Craftsman, Toro, DeWalt.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Folks, as a ticket-paying fan to any sporting event, it is incumbent upon you to understand the parameters of basic fan etiquette. You see, a ticket is a contract, which implies that once you find your seat, you are enjoy the game, not be a jerk, and refrain from interfering in any way with the players, officials, or other ticket-paying fans. It's not really a complicated set of rules. It's just common sense courtesy. Unfortunately, people forget this, and sometimes those that do can often be the athletes themselves who are busy trying to entertain you. Last night, for example, a fan of the New Orleans Pelicans was confronted by Draymond Green of the Golden State Warriors in a puffed-up chest-to-chest disagreement. According to reports, Draymond Green was apparently insulted by certain comments made by this fan, 35-year-old New Orleans resident Sam Green, from the stands. Draymond took exception to the fan's comments after he had been called for a shooting foul while covering Pelicans forward Herbert Jones. Particularly, Draymond was insulted after the fan repeatedly made verbal taunts referring to him as WNBA star Angel Reese. Now, it was here where Draymond went into the stands to confront the fan until he was pulled away by officials. According to Draymond, quote, "He kept calling me a woman. It was a good joke at first, but you can't keep calling me a woman. I got 4 kids, 1 on the way. You can't keep calling me a woman." You know what else you can't do, Draymond? Go into the stands and confront a ticket-paying fan about it. Now, you can be insulted by the guy all you want. The truth is that Angel Reese is having a better season than you, averaging 14.7 points per game, which is twice what you're contributing to the Warriors. She's getting better than 12 rebounds per game. You barely got over 5. And you complain about it all you want, but having some guy calling Angel Reese from the stands is actually a compliment. She's actually making a more positive contribution to her team than you do, whereas you might not be able to make any positive contributions until after your suspension is over. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. 300 holiday lights, $25 at Rocky's. At the Rocky's Holiday Shop. They're decked out with holiday decorating deals, strings of lights, garlands of greenery, trees, and wreaths, the whole thing. Let's get the decorating the beginning with Rocky's Holiday Shop. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 7:12 in Van Halen with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Mix of sun and clouds with a high of 38 today. It is 32 right now in downtown Springfield.
So, Patriots were off yesterday, trying to heal from kicking so many asses all at once.
Right.
Got to imagine it's exhausting to be beating teams left and right like that. But Cincinnati's up this weekend, and in the studio with us right now is Scott Cohen. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you guys too.
It's occurring to me, and I've been hearing a little bit about it. As good as the Patriots have been playing, Kyle Williams, the rookie wide receiver,
Yep.
hasn't even really started yet.
Yep.
And he's already had like one great catch.
He had a great game against Tampa Bay, right?
Great game against Tampa Bay.
Yep.
He's the fastest receiver, and because he's a rookie, he's not getting,
He's got to learn the system, take his time.
But people are saying, once he starts playing,
right,
and he may start playing sooner than later, then all of a sudden you may have a superstar in your hands. It's early to say, but I mean, the Patriots haven't really shown their full hand yet.
No. And and they wouldn't have this. I mean, this happens. This happens a lot in I've been covering sports for years, and we hear about these stories all the time. A veteran starter goes down with an injury. All of a sudden, I'm talking, let's say Ramondre Stevenson, right?
Right.
And then all of a sudden, Travion Henderson. All of a sudden, he gets a shot. And he's out there running for 100 and 125 yards, and if it wasn't for the injury, he would have still had to bide his time, and we wouldn't have found out people kind of knew what a great player he was, but he didn't get his opportunity. And it's the same thing now that wait until one of the receivers goes down, which we don't want that to happen.
Right.
But sometimes it takes something like that to give these younger guys an opportunity.
But it also means that these guys may get an opportunity and add to already a core that's doing pretty good.
That's the best case scenario.
That's the best case scenario. Even when Ramondre Stevenson comes back, now you have two options.
No question.
That would
the kid's not going to be just all of a sudden here. Thanks for filling in. Go sit down and relax, and that's not going to happen.
Yeah, no, there's none of that. but it just shows you for all the people that are still having their doubts about the Patriots, and there are, which I'm having a hard time.
Nationally, there certainly is.
I'm having a hard time agreeing with that, considering the way they've beat teams, the way they've continued to be resilient in the face of all kinds of defenses that are solid defenses against decent teams. Tampa's a good team. Baker Mayfield is a damn good quarterback.
Yes, he is.
And they want to beating him. To me, it's like I don't know how you dismiss what the Patriots are doing as just being about the schedule. To me, that was the schedule conversation was something that was maybe valid about a month ago. Now it is no longer a valid argument.
Well, so like one of the things that I had kind of wanted to, I knew that we would bring up in conversation this morning is, I've been looking at the NFL standings, right? And there's the Patriots, there's Denver, and there's Indianapolis in the AFC.
Right.
And then once you get down, first place teams, right? Once you get down to second and third place, everybody is the same. It's not the case that the Patriots' schedule is easy. No one is beating anybody this year. And then over in the NFC, I mean, that's where there's a handful of good teams. The Eagles, the Rams.
Chicago's playing well. And San Francisco. So listen, there's so much parity in the NFL right now. And listen, the schedule, the Patriots' easy schedule was the talking point for a while. It's like, look, we're over that now, and the season is more than halfway done. They're playing as good as anyone, and Indianapolis is as much of a surprise as they are. Denver was on, one of the nice things about yesterday, Bax, we got this Patriots game out of the way on Thursday, so it was a chance to sit and all of a sudden get a look at some other teams, right? Yeah.
Not many of us can devote an entire Sunday to watching football from beginning to end, but I watched the Broncos play yesterday, and they got into the red zone, into scoring position time after time after time, and just could not close the door. And even though they won the game, the New England is just as good as anybody in the conference.
So my view from the couch earlier this morning was about the reaction. In the sports media, ESPN guys talking about the Patriots. Now, there's a lot of people that are like right on the Patriots bandwagon and are saying there's something very special going on with this team from top to bottom, and I'm on that bandwagon. But on Friday, Bart Scott was asked about Drake May, and he said that talking about him in the conversation of the MVP is, quote, disrespectful to Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, Matthew Stafford. I don't see how that's disrespectful in the least.
It's not. It's not.
He's played to that level.
He has. And, and I guess it doesn't always work out this way, that the most valuable player to his team is not always the one who wins the award. But May has got both of those bases covered. He's playing great. He has the numbers and the success to earn an award like that. And then the other thing is, without him, where would they be?
Right.
And that's the other. Milt Williams is their star defensive player, high ankle sprain. He's going to be out for maybe 3 or 4 games. So they're going to miss him. He'll be ready for the playoffs from what we've been able to read.
Right.
But so I think the Patriots defense is going to be able to absorb that injury. But something happens, and you can say this about any NFL team, right? What would happen if, the number one quarterback on the other top teams all of a sudden got hurt? But you lose Drake May, and all of a sudden the complexion of everything changes. and New England has been fortunate enough where they've remained relatively healthy.
Yeah. The other negative comment was made by Cam Newton. I don't know if you saw this one.
Yeah. What is his problem?
Well, the quote was, he was asked about the Patriots, and his quote was, "It has fool's gold written all over it. Cubert Seconia, middle of the mall.
Yeah.
Is Drake May playing good football? Absolutely. But I would attest that his great play is to a specific one person, and that's Josh McDaniels." Now, that's not wrong.
No,
it's not wrong. Josh McDaniels is a great assistant. When I hear these things, two things. One, Bart Scott is a former New York Jet.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't know good quarterback play if you beat him in the face with it.
Exactly.
Secondly, Cam Newton used to be a good quarterback, came to the Patriots, and guess what? He was horrible.
Yep.
So there's a part of me that thinks, I wonder how much of this is more of an axe to grind rather than legitimate analysis of what a team like the Patriots is doing. And frankly, I'm not buying what either one of these guys are saying. I'm more on the side that says, you know what? This kid has played lights out. Statistically, he owns nearly every offensive record in the league. He's playing at a level that is better than any of the guys that Bart Scott is listing off. He's to me, it's like at this point, it's not even a question.
Yeah, I think I heard, obviously we heard the Cam Newton story, and I think a lot of people are saying that there's got to be some kind of jealousy in there because it didn't work out.
A guy wearing a hat like that.
Dude, that guy's got great lids, man.
He's got great lids.
You got to give it to him.
He's a snappy dresser, but you know what? Sometimes the message gets lost in the couture.
It does. I watched. You go back and you watch the highlights of the game against the Jets. Drake May, not only is he putting up the numbers, but it's the way that he's going about it. He's taking his time. He's stepping up in the pocket. He's avoiding tacklers. He's making all the right moves, and he deserves every accolade that's coming his way.
And more importantly, he's not getting rattled by any of it.
That's what I'm saying.
Not getting him like it just
poise is just tremendous for somebody at the point in their career that he is.
You see Jacoby Brissett yesterday?
Yeah, man.
And NFL record with the most completed passes in a game.
He threw, I think, you have the line there?
It's 47 passes for 452 yards.
He threw the ball 54 times?
57. 47 for 57. Still pretty good. 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. When you throw that many passes, you're going to give something up.
I got to tell you
point.
somebody. I think I'm surprised that he's young enough. He's getting ready for getting dropped off at the dog track pretty soon, right?
He's close.
That took a lot out of him yesterday.
Why can't the Patriots ever get a guy like that?
Find players like that? Exactly. No, but listen, to wrap up the NFL thing, Denver, Indianapolis, and New England, that's the triumvirate right now. I'd pick the Patriots any day of the week over those two teams. Denver is quote unquote the top seed in the AFC right now. I was looking and trying to do some reading this morning. I'm not totally sure why that is. There's probably some tiebreaker that they own. But man, listen, there's a lot of football between now and then, and we'll see where it goes. Fortunately or unfortunately, they're not going to play Denver or Indy until playoff time. They're not going to meet them in the regular season.
Oh well.
If
that's the way it's got to be, then that's the way it's got to be.
Their loss.
Okay, I'm sure the Bengals, the Giants, the Jets, and the Dolphins will get them all ready to go.
Exactly.
Scott Cohen, we'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good, guys.
Right.
We'll be at the marathon next Monday, right?
That's right.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Awesome. It's 7:23 with Bax and Nagle and Rock 102. 27 with Bax and Nagle and Rock 102.
Excuse me, I just have to take a deep breath and go into something else because I can't be bothered by that right now.
I know you can. Rock 102 takes over the Mass Mutual Center this Friday. We are so jacked for the Mayflower Marathon night at the Springfield Thunderbirds as the Thunderbirds take on the Utica Comets. I hate Utica and hate Comets. I don't like that team at all as far as I can throw them.
Sucks.
They suck. Anyway, we're getting ready for the Mayflower Marathon. This is going to be a great, great night. The first 2,500 fans in attendance will get a Boomer Mayflower Marathon chef's apron, which Steve modeled in a recent TikTok video.
And a photo of me cutting the cake for Cake Day.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. A very smart-looking apron. You rock that apron as 2,499 other people will.
We were talking a couple of weeks ago about me slopping things on my shirt. Both of us do that. We slop things on our shirt and we get stains on our shirt. This is the perfect bib to wear. I mean, you can use it as a bib.
Yeah, it's like a Kevlar vest. Just bounces right off you.
I wouldn't go so far to say Kevlar, but it's a vest that you can protect yourself with from sloppy foods like cranberry sauce or gravy.
Yeah.
Mashed potatoes.
Stuffing. Sometimes there's grease in the stuffing.
Bacon, as you would find in a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich.
Maybe even a delicious pumpkin pie would not stain your clothes.
That's right. And you can do these, again, the first 2,500 people in the door at the Thunderdome this Friday night are going to get one of them aprons.
So we hope to see you out there. That game is going to be, I believe it's close to a sellout, but it's going to be great. We'll still also be taking your food donations for the Mayflower Marathon that night. That is this Friday, November 21st at the Thunderdome from Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock.
You know, sometimes, Bax, I feel that I have no direction in my life, and I need something as a tool to help me make decisions and make better choices in my life.
Magic 8 Ball?
Yes, but I have the next best thing to a Magic 8 Ball.
And that is?
That is AI Jesus. The creator of a chatbot that simulates conversations with biblical figures has been revealed that it is not particularly religious at the moment. Text with Jesus is an AI platform that generates scripture-based responses, supposedly from figures as Jesus, Moses, Mary, and controversially, Satan. Stefan Peter, CEO of Catloaf Software, admitted that he did not consult any Christian advisors on the project. He told Fox News, "It's been incredible to see how many want to try a conversation with biblical figures." AI-powered pastors and spiritual mentors were recently added to the app, which describes itself as a designed for devoted Christians seeking a deeper connection with the Bible's most iconic figures. You know, I always wanted to know that Paul in his letter that he wrote to the Corinthians.
Right.
You know? Is it Paul that wrote the letter? Who wrote the letter to the Corinthians?
I don't know. I don't remember who wrote the Corinthians. And that was the rich leather that was put in Oldsmobiles, right?
Yes, rich Corinthian leather.
Yes, right.
In one exchange, Jesus, quote unquote, tells a user who is worried about their job, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your request to God." Philippians 4:6. Minister Kevin Welliver called the app's Satan feature chilling, saying, "Quite frankly, I don't want to talk to the devil. I'm trying to avoid him." But don't you have to understand? You have to talk to the devil to understand the devil, where he's coming from.
Well, you don't have to really engage him in conversation.
Peter claimed it gives people a safe, approachable way to ask questions about faith, scripture, or life that they might hesitate to raise elsewhere, but the launch has not been without criticism. Joel Berry, managing editor of the Babylon Bee, said, "Isn't the Babylon Bee a fake? Isn't that like an onion thing? The
Babylon Bee?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't. I'm not a subscriber."
Said of religious AI platforms, AI isn't a source of anything. It's a mirror, a twitching, mutilated simulacrum. How do you say that? Simulacrum?
I don't know what that is.
And all it can do is reflect our own depravity back to us. For wisdom, the only legitimate source must be something transcendent, objective, outside ourselves. The only real source of truth and wisdom is God's word.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people in the Bible that'd be kind of interesting to talk to. You know, in hindsight, Moses would be pretty interesting. Methuselah, what a Lot. I might have a conversation with Lot. Hey, Lot, when your wife turned into a pillar of salt, did you start seeing people right away, or did you give it a little bit of time before you started, going to the mixers in Sodom,
or Abraham? What are you doing with your kid up there on the mountain?
What is that all about?
What is that going on? So that's how it is in that family. You got Ed Rooney commenting.
Pardon my French,
but you're an a-hole.
It's 7:32 at Rock 102.
Here's your Western Math.
7:35 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news brought to you by Aqua Pump, an expert in all water supply systems from the well to the pump. And into the house is local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. By the way, rich Corinthian leather was a feature in the Chrysler Cordoba.
That's right,
what
not
it
the
was.
Oldsmobile. My mistake.
Well,
Sorry.
That's okay. I mean, it's you remember just bits and pieces of those ad campaigns.
Yeah.
And you only remember what he was saying, and you're waiting for Tattoo to walk out on the set going, the Corinthian leather, the Corinthian leather.
Hey, boss, the rich Corinthian leather is going to scuff. No worries, Tattoo.
I will take care of everything. Everything.
Of course, you know that was a whole big scam, right? There's no such thing as a rich Corinthian leather.
There isn't?
No, it's all a marketing thing.
Why is that then one of the things that they boast about? Why would you lie to people?
Back in the day, marketing, you're going to find this really hard to believe. Marketing was, how should I put this? Full of crap.
Really?
Yeah. Like, false claims, like doctors telling you which brand of cigarettes they prefer. Those kinds of things.
I get
crap.
you.
Total
Gotcha.
crap. Turns out they're not healthy, and doctors don't recommend cigarettes.
I didn't know that. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Wish I had known that 30 years ago.
Yeah, ain't that right?
Bay State Health has announced a voluntary separation program as it works to combat financial pressures. Bay State Health spokesman Heather Dugan said that collective transformation work over the last year has helped strengthen the Springfield-based healthcare system in meaningful ways, and amid these efforts, we must now sustain our momentum through continued financial transformation. She added that Bay State has faced, like many other health systems, financial pressures from rising labor costs, inflation, and reimbursement challenges. At the same time, they are also facing new challenges, including external pressures such as the One Big Beautiful Bill, which is creating additional headwinds for health systems across the country, she explained. In light of those factors, Bay State Health announced a voluntary separation program across their system Friday and its subsidiaries, including Health New England. It will offer eligible non-direct patient care employees an option to voluntarily separate with financial support. Dugan added that the program will help them responsibly manage costs and align our workforce with future needs and is designed to minimize the need for other work reductions.
What do you think any of that means?
I have no idea. That means we don't have any money and we're not willing to pay it, but we'll help you. We'll help you get your start on your next, venture.
Yeah, I heard what you said, and I had read the story, and I guess I just don't understand what any of it means.
Well, I mean, you could start with the CEO, Peter Banco, voluntarily resigning.
Well, he hasn't done that yet, but...
I have his speech right here. Are you ready?
Yes.
Good evening. This is the 37th time I have spoken to you from my office, where so many decisions have been shaped the history of this nation and Western Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
Each time I have done so to discuss with you some matter that I believe affected the national interest. In all the decisions I have made in my public life, I have tried to do what is always best for our nation and Western Massachusetts.
Uh-huh.
Throughout the long and difficult period of Watergate, I have felt it was my duty to persevere, to make every possible effort complete the term of office to which you elected me, or which I was appointed by the board.
Yeah.
In the past few days, however, it has become evident that I no longer have strong enough medical base in this area to justify continuing that effort. As long as there was such a base, I felt strongly that it was necessary to see the constitutional process through to its conclusion. That to do otherwise would be unfaithful to the spirit of that deliberately difficult process and dangerously destabilizing the CEO for the future. Effective at noon tomorrow, I will be resigning as CEO of Bay State Medical Center.
Steve, can I just stop you here just for a second?
Yeah.
Is that Mr. Banco, or is that the 1974 resignation speech of Richard Nixon?
Well, if it is, he plagiarized that.
Yeah, because you see,
how did he get the information from Peter Banco, who probably was just a kid, or not? Maybe wasn't even born then.
I think it was actually the other way around. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Nixon wrote that, or someone wrote it for him, but it wasn't anyone from Bay State.
I think you're making that up.
No. I was watching it on TV as a youngster in 1974. Yep. I saw it happen.
I don't know about that.
Hour later, he's waving goodbye on the plane.
How
long, everybody?
How come they never really force like the big wigs out? You know, the guys who's making the most money would be the first place you would start saving money.
Yeah.
By eliminating people who are, kind of wasteful.
Steve, how it works is this. The ones who are making the most amount of money are the ones who have contracts that would be far more expensive to break than it would be to fulfill.
Yeah.
That's why.
Gotcha.
So if you're like a CEO of a company and you have a contract with that company or the board of governors or investors or whatever it may be, and let's say you're making $1 million a year, if they were to fire you, they'd not only have to pay you the remaining amount of money on your contract, which may still be millions of dollars a year for the next 10 years, but there may also be damages they may have to pay you as well based upon the contract. So in a way, it's actually cheaper to keep that guy in place than it is to boot him on the street.
I want to see, now that he's been caught plagiarizing multiple works, what do they look like now? Like, I want to see some of the writings now, like, because now you're going to be able to tell that it's like, well, we went from collegiate essay papers being handed in, albeit written by somebody else, to now, here's my 8th grade assignment.
This is what I'm thinking is probably happening. He's done with the interoffice memos. It's like, from now on, it's going to be face-to-face information.
Yeah.
Like, I will tell you exactly what I need to tell you.
Guess what I heard?
What?
No, that's what he's going to do.
That's right.
Here's what I heard. I heard that we're letting some people go. Shh, don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody.
Just has to drop a couple rumors, and then it's not traceable.
A previously unexplained death of a New Jersey man has led to a medical discovery. Did we talk about this tick thing? Did we talk about that?
I believe we did, yeah.
Because I can't remember.
Well, tell it
now.
again.
Anyway,
Good story.
The 47-year-old father had collapsed and died in his home unexpectedly in 2024. An autopsy ruled the death as unexplained. Previous medical research that found tick bites could cause some people to develop an allergy to red meat helped find the answer to his death. The man's widow reached out to a doctor friend who in turn contacted an immunologist, Dr. Thomas Platts Mills of the University of Virginia. Platts Mills made the tick bite red meat allergy link 2 decades earlier. It turns out the New Jersey man was bitten by dozens of tiny seed ticks during a camping trip. Later, after eating at a family cookout with hamburgers, he got sick and died. The CDC&P estimates that 450,000 Americans have alpha-gal allergy or allergy to red meat. The New Jersey man's case is believed to be the first documented death linked to a red allergy meat. The research in this case is published in the Journal of Allergy and Clinical Immunology in Practice. The more extensive report that I read on this was you don't know that you have this without getting the blood test for the tick diseases.
Right.
And you don't even know that this is going to affect you. He didn't just eat the hamburger and then, like, right away he succumbed to the disease. It was like a day later that he all of a sudden started developing all these symptoms, and within hours he was dead.
You know what? I mean, I don't know enough about that particular disease. I know in the case of Lyme disease, it can often, if you get the blood test, it can also, show false negatives. And it also often materializes as other conditions, not necessarily Lyme disease. So you wonder, all right, so you get bitten by the tick. Maybe you know you got bit. Maybe you don't know you got bitten by the tick. Does the blood test for that condition show this 100% of the time, or are there false negatives on that one too?
I think that was one of the things that they were like, we don't really know. Like, you don't. I'm getting a blood test this week for that because I was bit by a tick like a month ago.
Yeah,
and they tell you, I went to the Jiffy Lube doctor office, over there, the Med Express,
right,
and then they told my primary care to follow up. You have to follow up with that because we're not going to give you the blood test now because it doesn't automatically. If you have Lyme or another tick disease, it doesn't show up right away. You got to wait like 3.5 weeks before you finally get the blood test to see if you're free and clear of it. So I had to go on the antibiotic for like a week or 10 days or whatever it was to make sure that, just in case you were infected with Lyme, the mark is still there. That's the scary part. And and it's fading now, but up until like last week, and that was like 3 weeks into it, it was still there.
See, the first time I got diagnosed with Lyme, I didn't see a bite. Yeah. I didn't even know I get bit. All of a sudden, I started to experience these symptoms that I really couldn't explain. Not even thinking that it was Lyme disease. I had a headache from shoulder to shoulder, if you can imagine that.
Yeah.
And then only after I got Bell's palsy did I go see the doctor, and he said, let me test you for Lyme's because that is a pretty good indicator that something's going on. And so, this is probably like 2 weeks maybe.
Yeah.
Sure as shiznit, that's exactly what happened, and I tested for a very high level of Lyme at that point.
And I know we're running short on time here, but my nephew last year remember I told you he was in the hospital for almost a month, and they didn't think he was going to make it. He had gone out hiking over the summer with some friends, had gotten bit by a tick. This is why it's really important for you to go to the doctor and get the
check
and get the antibiotics because it was untreated, and 3 months later, in like November, he starts experiencing these symptoms. It doesn't happen to you right away. It's not one of these things, and it's really. But luckily, he with antibiotic treatments and everything. But he was in the Boston hospital for almost a month.
Awful.
Because he didn't get it checked. So make sure you send your tick pics to report it at 22 News.
Even
first.
your unsolicited tick pics.
I like unsolicited tick pics.
I'm sure you do.
Your Pioneer Valley forecast today is going to be a mix of sunny clouds with a high of 38. It is 32 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Yeah.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 7:54. And Aerosmith with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
What is it going to be? Mix of sun and clouds today with a high of 38. It's 32 right now in downtown Springfield.
As we are a week away from starting our fight against food insecurity, one way of battling that would be with a $25 gift card to Autumn Mist Farms.
Yeah.
It is a Autumn Mist Monday here, Steve.
Oh. Speaking of Autumn Mist and Mondays, I was really excited over the weekend because I got a message on TikTok from none other than Susanna Hoffs.
Shut up.
Yeah.
From the Bengals?
Yeah.
Really?
And I wanted to be like, hey, you should do a parody for us called Just Another Autumn Mist Monday. Yeah.
Wow.
And it turns out it was a fake account. It is not the real Susanna Hoffs, which to my surprise, I was really excited because I thought Susanna Hoffs was actually reaching out to me. I mean, she likes those town videos that I do.
Sure,
I believe.
right?
And, it's just trying to get ahead. And
you could do a whole lot worse than Susanna Hoffs. I can tell you that.
She still
looks
good-looking
terrific.
gal.
She always has been.
She's almost 60, I believe.
You'd have to tell me.
Yeah, but man.
Yeah. So it wasn't really her. What a
isn't that weird?
What a misleading world we live in.
You know how you can tell it's not really them? When you click on the one that says Susanna Hoffs Official, right?
Right.
And then you click on it, and you can see that it's one of her videos, but it's clearly lifted from her official page.
Of course.
You just got to check the handles on the TikToks. But I wish she would do a parody of the Just Another Autumn Mist Monday. Oh, I wish it was Sunday.
Actually, I wish it was Monday because Autumn Mist Monday is awesome.
Monday, yeah.
All right, well, anyway, I got a $25 gift card that you can use whatever way you want at Autumn Mist Farms. 10th caller right now, 293-1021. Good luck to you.
Sorry for the dumb story.
No, it's a good one.
Oh, I mean, I just wanted to
I was completely engrossed in that story.
I wanted to participate in the program this morning.
No, I get it. Yeah, that's all right.
I get you.
It's 7:57 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
And now, Bax's View from the Couch. Brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware, Outdoor Power Headquarters, Steel, Ego, Craftsman, Toro, DeWalt.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Folks, I don't care who you are and what level you're operating on. There's always going to be somebody who's wildly unimpressed with whatever you do. For example, let's say you were to save a bunch of children from a bus that's hanging off a cliff. You arrive at the scene, you get every kid off the bus, you save lives of the bus driver too, just before the bus falls off the cliff. Now, in most cases, everybody we calling you a hero. Everybody but the jackhole that wants to send you the bill for the bus. You see where I'm going here? Some people simply cannot be impressed even when things are at their most obvious. For example, over the last couple of days, while everybody around the NFL is hammering on the Patriots quarterback Drake May as the odds-on favorite to become the league's MVP, there's at least a couple of people who have chosen to ignore everything he's done. On Friday, ESPN's Bart Scott was asked about Drake May as the MVP. And according to Scott, quote, MVP? I think that's disrespectful to Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, and Matthew Stafford. Now you know. I said it out loud. Meanwhile, you had Cam Newton on ESPN talking about the Patriots by saying, quote, it's got fool's gold written all over it. Hubert Zaconia, middle of the mall. Is Drake May playing good football? Absolutely. And I would like to attest to his great play to one specific person that I know very well, Josh McDaniels. Folks, let's put all this naysaying into perspective. One, Bart Scott played 7 seasons for the Ravens and 4 seasons for the Jets. He's never played with a good quarterback in his life. Probably couldn't even identify one. Cam Newton used to be a decent quarterback until he unsuccessfully tried to replace Tom Brady, which he absolutely could not do. In other words, he hasn't seen a good one either. So to ask these two guys about Drake May or any Patriots quarterback is never going to yield actual objectivity. What it yields is a mountain full of bitterness and hostility. Because I don't know what sort of quarterback they think they're looking at, but it certainly ain't the one that's about to become the league's MVP. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. Milwaukee is in East Longmeadow. So is DeWalt and Craftsman. There's one more name in the tool department you need to know at East Longmeadow. It's Keith. Keith is a seasoned tool expert. Keith knows power tools, hand tools, chainsaws. Good people like Keith and rock-solid service at every Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch. Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 8:11 and Billy Idol with Bax and Nagle at Rock 102.
It is going to be a mix of sun and clouds today with a high of 38. It is 32 right now in downtown Springfield. You know, it is the first snow, sort of the season. I know we got a little bit more up in the hill towns than we did down here. Mm-hmm. But I think I put the first documented snow penis up on Facebook.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I saw that picture and I was like, "Wow, look at that depth."
Yeah, it's that time of year. So you know what? Maybe that can be a Mayflower challenge. You draw a penis in the snow, and then also contribute 10 non-perishable food donations to the open pantry, and maybe we'll have a penis drawing judging contest.
What does the winner get?
Clout. You get clout. You
got to offer a prize.
We don't have any prizes.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know how kind of response you're going to get.
I want to be the guy who I want to inspire people to do that.
Sure.
To draw those things on other things.
So when they think of you,
they think Steve Nagle.
No, they're going to think of a penis.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they already do.
I told you before. When people pass away, and they're like, "Oh, well, if you see a cardinal, that's me saying hello," or if you see a blue jay, that's your dead loved one. When you see a penis drawing, when I'm long gone, and you see a penis drawing, oh, it's Steve Nagle saying hello. That's a nod.
It's
from
code.
the afterlife.
It's like code.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
It is like code. Yeah. Last week, we've been talking about this for some time. You know my love for the sweetener, Sweet and Low.
Yes.
And
I know you're a big fan.
We were at the Bright Nights Ball, and you had a video of me swiping some of the Sweet and Lows from the table. And then a week later, I'm at the Massachusetts Broadcasters Association, and Aaron's taking a video of me while I'm taking the Sweet and Low packets out of the little, what do you call that?
The Sweet and Low packet holder.
No. They hold it's called something. It's like a cargo or
I don't
carafe or I don't. It's not
well,
a carafe.
A carafe would be with the coffee. Since, yeah.
Whatever it is, the little caboose that the Sweet and Low comes in.
Okay.
I was stealing those as well. Now I wouldn't say stealing. Stealing.
Well, you weren't just taking them and replacing them. I mean, you weren't borrowing them.
No, but my argument has always been. If a place of business is providing those and
yes,
not charging you any extra money
right,
for said sweetener, to me they are free for the taking. That is my view on that.
But Steve, if you were to just take them, then the company that is providing them for its customers would have to spend more to replace them, as opposed to just allowing the average customer to use them at like one or two at a time. If you're stealing them like 10, 15 at a time, they may actually have to charge you extra for coffee in the future.
It's already built into the price. And frankly, if it was costing them that much money, they'd be doling them out by request. McDonald's did it years ago with the honey. Remember they used to have the honey packets?
I do.
And then honey became so expensive.
Yes.
That they're like, well, we can't just leave these honey packets out there because people are stealing the honey.
That's right.
And that would make the cost go up at McDonald's. I don't know what their excuse is now for the prices, but that's
it's
what
all in the honey.
So now you have to request the honey in order to get the honey. Some places, I believe, Burger King charges you money for the extra condiments if you want extra. Like you want extra barbecue sauce or something like that.
And that's why the monarchy over there is in such trouble.
Well, it's about to collapse.
Very clearly.
I believe the Burger King was on the Epstein list, but that's a whole nother thing. He was dethroned by Prince what's his name over there?
I don't know if that's the case.
But either way, I feel like they're built in the price. Now I'm on now this is taking it a little extreme because I wouldn't go this far. I'm not stealing. I'm taking.
Okay.
What is rightfully mine, as far as I'm concerned, for all the coffee, all the money that I've spent on coffee over the years. This is like a little bonus. You get the free Sweet and Low packets. There's a video of a guy on Instagram this morning who was taping a guy from up. He was like up above. He was at a mall, like at a food court.
Okay.
And this guy's eating a slice of pizza. The guy that he's taping.
Sure.
And he's watching the guy eat a piece of pizza, sip some of his drink, whatever he's got.
Right.
And then he takes the Parmesan cheese shaker, shakes it all over the pizza. And then he takes the Parmesan cheese shaker, looks around, and then shoves the Parmesan cheese shaker into his pocket, to which the narrator of the video goes, "You effing scumbag," taking the cheese. Now that is something that that's in a container that is not... That's not for your taking.
It's not consumable.
That would be like me taking the entire little caboose with all of the
condiment caddy.
Caddy. That's
caddy.
What it was. Caddy.
Yeah,
Thank
caddy.
you for the word. The condiment caddy. That was. I wouldn't take the caddy because now you're stealing restaurant equipment.
Right.
At that point. So.
But you would take the Sweet and Lows without any hesitation.
No, and this guy needs to learn some lesson in manners. So if you're going to take the Parmesan cheese, you bring your own Ziploc bag and you pour it in there and you take it home for later. You don't.
But you don't take
the shaker.
Yeah,
that's the cost. That's the thing that's costing the restaurants the most.
I hate to break it to you. You could go to a Five Below or even a Home Goods, get the same shaker for like $1.
That's my point.
Yeah.
And you can take the cheese that you got for purchasing at the pizza shop.
Well, real Parmesan cheese is very expensive. I mean, you have to be...
Yeah, but I'm guessing a mall food court doesn't really have real Parmesan cheese.
No, they're using the cheap stuff like most people do, out of the green shaker container.
Yeah, I haven't... only at a bougie Italian restaurant have I actually seen the... And that's when they shred it for you themselves.
Yeah, because they don't want you doing it because it costs them money.
Yeah, But my point being is, I don't think I'm a thief, and I think I'm being wrongly categorized as a thief when that stuff is readily available to the public.
Stealing is still stealing.
Is it stealing, or is it? How much money have I spent at a Dunkin' Donuts over the last 20 years?
Close to $4 or $5 million.
Right. That portion is that's my rebate check.
When you order a cup of coffee at a diner, for example, you're ordering that cup of coffee it comes with an unspoken, unwritten contract, which says, I will use this non-dairy creamer and this packet of Sweet and Low for that particular coffee that I paid for. It does not say in that unwritten contract, I will take this non-dairy creamer and 15 Sweet and Lows for that cup of coffee. I will only use 1 or 2 in that cup of coffee and then take the rest. That is stealing from the vendor.
Somebody else says, isn't the Sweet and Low restaurant property seeing they are complimentary? That's the word, though, complimentary. If you didn't want people to take as many, why are you putting as many in the caddy? You should say one of each.
Because most people honor the system. And the system is you use as many Sweet and Lows as you need for that 1 cup of coffee.
You shouldn't be putting it out there if you didn't want me to take it.
Steve, that would be like going to a car dealership and saying, well, you shouldn't have put that car out in the lot if you didn't want me to take it.
Yeah.
It's really the same thing. You can have a complimentary test drive, but you're not allowed to just drive off the lot and never return it.
What's your favorite condiment stealing thing? 293-1021. Who's in the wrong here? Am I the wrong one? Am I the a-hole for stealing the Sweet and Low, or am I just taking what is mine?
Well, maybe
staking claim.
Maybe that's an argument for tomorrow's Am I the A-hole?
I guess. I'll have to write one of those.
Well, you just get to organize your thoughts a little bit better.
I can't organize anything. I'm just saying. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong.
No, of course you are. You're in denial of your criminal record, your criminal activities.
I don't have a criminal record because nobody has caught me taking the Sweet and Low.
It seems to me you've just offered up a
bounty.
A bounty.
Yeah, a bounty.
It sounds to me like a confession, Steve.
Am I going to be facing a citizen's arrest
somewhere
for taking the Sweet and Low packets?
We'll see how you are at the Mayflower Marathon, how many Sweet and Lows you're packing down. I'll keep an eye on you.
Well, I mean, again,
I'm watching you.
Who else is using them? I mean, if we're done by the end of 3, we start at 6 a.m. on Monday morning, November 24th. We end at 10 a.m. on November 26th. At 10:01, if there are 500 Sweet and Low packets still there, they belong to me.
The hell they do?
Well, where are they going to go? You going to save them for next year? You can't store sweeteners like that for an entire year.
How about you agree to give it to the open pantry?
Listen,
there are people who are hungry that like Sweet and Low in their coffees.
You think so?
Yes.
All right. Well, maybe we can give some of those away, but I'm taking most of them.
You bastard.
All right. This is the best we could come up with at the last minute's notice for an 8 o'clock stupid topic.
8:23 on Rock 102. Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 8:29, and Billy Squire with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Liam will have the full forecast for you. I didn't even need to know this was from Florida after I read the headline. A Florida man allegedly fired a handgun at several people following an argument about how many eggs chickens can lay. The Port St. Lucie Police Department said in a media release sent to Newsweek that 44-year-old Peter Riera was taken into custody on multiple charges after firing shots at 3 people outside of Harper's Pub in Port St. Lucie on Tuesday. Nobody was hit by the bullets. I can confirm that an argument between the 3 victims and Mr. Riera stemmed from a conversation about how many eggs a chicken can lay, as Mr. Riera claimed to be a farmer who raised chickens. Port St. Lucie Police Master Sergeant and Public Information Officer Dominic Mesty told Newsweek. Riera is charged with 3 counts of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, 2 counts of assault, and yada, 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 and 1 count of use of a firearm under the influence of alcohol. Riera is accused of firing 4 rounds from a .45 caliber Glock outside the bar, which was closed at the time. Police said Riera became paranoid after the argument as he accused the victims of trying to con him. One victim ran out into the roadway trying to get away from the shooter. The other 2 victims hid. We had several phone calls. The shooter himself called 911. Police said the victims knew each other and had just met Riera that night. They had all been drinking and were intoxicated to varying degrees. Yeah, because that's the only way you'd have to be violent about an argument over, well, I'm telling you, man, a chicken can lay 6 eggs at a time. No, man. I'm telling you that they can only lay 2.
No, I'm going to intercede and say it can only be 1. And before anyone says another thing, I'm going to go back to my truck to get a gun.
Because I don't like what you said about them eggs. Florida.
We have news next to Rock 102. Here, 8:34 with Bax and Nagle and Rock 102. It's time for news brought to you by Big Y, your family market. His local radio icon, Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. Where are we here? Turner's Falls woman was arrested following a crash in Vermont for allegedly driving under the influence. This is news? It sounds like an everyday occurrence up there in Turner's Falls.
And in Vermont.
Vermont State Police stated at approximately 1:02 a.m. on Thursday. Probably listening to Tom Petty while she was doing that. Troopers were called to I-91 in Dummerston regarding a single vehicle crash.
Dummerston.
Police spoke to the operator, identified as 31-year-old Kersey Whitney of Turner's Falls, during which time they noticed signs of impairment. Whitney was arrested for suspicion of DUI and brought to the Westminster Barracks for processing. Police said that while she was being processed, she reportedly assaulted one of the officials.
And that may have been her second biggest mistake.
That could have been. She was later released on a citation to appear, and she'll be back in court on December 9th to answer charges of DUI and assault of a protected professional.
Actually, there's a number of extra mistakes here. 1, drinking and driving. 2, assaulting the police officer. But let's not underestimate the importance of hitting Vermont with a car.
Yeah, that's...
You don't want to crash into the state of Vermont. That's they got enough of that up there.
Walk Bike Springfield and the Holyoke Biking and Pedestrian Committee hosted the World Day of Remembrance for Road Traffic Victims on Sunday. The event honored the 35 individuals who died on Hampden County roadways in the past year and promoted road safety initiatives. Beginning at 1 p.m. at the Central Library in Springfield, they featured a ceremony with... wait, hold on a second. Is this today? What's today's date? This is must be
the 17th.
So is this happening today? This is what I'm trying to figure out. It highlights improvements such as the new protected pedestrian crossing on State Street, the location of the ceremony. We've done 25 to 30 state-of-the-line crosswalks across the city, and on State Street, we have numerous ones there. That's according to Mayor Dom. Have you seen that one?
Which one?
The big crosswalk now that's in front of the library?
Yes.
I was there last week, and there was still some a-hole that just went right through, even though the lights were flashing. They had all the lights were flashing. Somebody was trying to cross the crosswalk, and some a-hole said, I'm going right through.
I don't know if it's because they're not used to it being there or they're just jackasses. It's hard to tell.
I think you're being a jackass because whether or not you're not used to something being there, it's not unnoticeable. It's not like
it's very noticeable. It's raised. It's got the white stripes all over it.
Yeah. For example, we were talking last week about that 4-way up in Northampton.
Yeah.
And I joked that the cuck cop was going to be there watching to make sure that people were edging up to the line, having a good time at the 4-way. Yeah. But in reality, they were giving people grace because that is something that if you're not used to having a 4-way stop sign, you need somebody there to kind of say, okay, well, this is the new pattern here. This is what we're going to be doing. As opposed to a giant crosswalk that you got LED lights blinking as bright as the sun.
Mm-hmm.
That's you're being a jackass because if you can't notice that, then you shouldn't even be on the road at that point. I can see something that, again, like you put something like those stop signs on what was that street I was talking about I think it's Forest Park Avenue.
Yeah,
that they put 2 stop signs in. within the last like 2 months, and initially it was just the stop sign. Yep. Then they put in a line. Then, eventually there's another sign further down the road said stop ahead.
Well, the problem you have there, Steve, and I'm sure you've driven around there enough to know this is probably true. The more obstacles you put in a downtown motorist's way, the more likely they're going to have to take the marijuana cigarette out of their mouth, put it in the ashtray, and then concentrate on the road. And that's just not the way this system is meant.
I'm trying to think where I was over the weekend, where I came out, and it was like 11 o'clock in the morning, and all I could smell was marijuana.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, it was Friday morning after the show. I had stopped at Stop and Shop.
Yep.
Over in West Springfield. And it was probably, 11:30 or whatever time it was. The whole parking lot just smelled like a big, fat, burnt joint. And it was just like...
A couple of weeks ago, I made an early trip out to visit my folks. And I stopped by the gas station on Boston Road in Wilbraham and fill up my gas tank.
Did you get yourself some gas station D pills, like Extends?
Well, not this time around. I was going to go see my folks. That's something you do on the way back.
The return trip when you're coming home to your wife.
Anyway,
that means two things.
I'm at the far left-hand pump, and there's nobody there except for someone who's like 4 pumps away.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 6:30 in the morning. Okay, 6:30 in the morning. And I could smell that dude's waft.
Wake and bake, baby.
From 4 pumps away.
Yeah.
If outdoors. I mean, if you and I happen to be like at the same Walmart at the same time, well, then I can expect I might be able to smell you from a good 15 feet away. You're 4 pumps away, 6:30 in the morning in the outdoors on a breezy fall morning. And I'm still smelling your waft.
Oh, and you got a Colt 45 and 2 zigzags. Baby, that's all you need. You can go to the park after dark and smoke that tumbleweed.
Yeah. I mean, to me, there's a time and a place, and 6:30 in the morning is probably not the best time, and then the gas station's probably not the best place either.
Yeah, I was kind of like overwhelmed by the smell, and I have no problem with the devil's lettuce at all, but I do kind of have a problem with you doing it out in the open. I don't know. It's just one of those things that you shouldn't be doing out in a public parking lot. I mean, it's illegal to drink out in public.
Yeah.
Unless you're in a bar or establishment that serves alcohol, you're not doing it out in the parking lot.
You're still operating heavy machinery, which they tell you not to do right there in the package.
Speaking of Stop and Shop, I have a little gripe with them.
With Stop and Shop?
Yeah. So I told you, I had hosted a party for my kid for her birthday on Friday night. And, I asked, I said, what do you want for snacks and stuff? And, chips and soda and stuff like that. But then vegetable tray. They wanted a vegetable tray.
Children?
Yeah. It's like...
kids are these people?
at least that I wouldn't mind spending money on that.
Okay.
But I would also, when I spend the money on something like that, I would expect it to be somewhat fresh. And so these kids come over my house on Friday night, and my daughter takes the tray out of the refrigerator. Now, the expiration date was not for like another 4 or 5 days on this thing. I usually pick the ones that are the freshest ones.
Sure.
I did it. Didn't look anything bad. And they opened it, and all of a sudden, I was like, what is that smell? And then all of a sudden, they all started complaining. I'm like, I think it's the broccoli. And it was this pungent, like dead animal type, disgusting rot smell.
How did it taste?
Nobody ate it, thank God. And I had to wrap it up in like a plastic garbage bag in order to stop the smell because it was like so overwhelming. And it's like, I understand that you can't control the prices of what you're putting out there. I mean, that's, it's not the grocery store's fault for the high price of groceries.
Right.
But if you're going to be paying that kind of money, you'd think you would have like a fresher product within the thing. So now I'm going to go down and try to get a refund on it was like $10.99 for this tiny little vegetable tray that had like it was celery, broccoli, the little tomatoes, and cauliflower.
I'm not much on any pre-cut vegetable. I'm not really. I've had bad luck with that.
But I don't. I've never really had a problem with them.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's gross.
It was absolutely disgusting.
Was it put together by the robot?
Probably Marty the robot.
Marty the robot.
Yeah,
I'll teach you.
There's a guy that doesn't know anything about food.
I wonder what they did with the Marty that was in the East Lomita one.
Why?
Not the Allen and Cooley.
Are they gone? You mean after they closed up?
Well, I haven't seen that guy like walk in the streets. It's like we'll clean up aisles for food. I haven't seen anything like that.
Well, we're gonna have to start like a retirement community for these things. When they, you don't think there's a Wingate for robots at a former grocery store?
There might be.
And then they have a human walking around cleaning up the spills that the robots made.
That would be ironic.
That would. And ironically, the guy's name is Marty, who's mopping up the spit up from the robot that lost all its oil. Didn't they used to like oil Rosie on the on the Jetsons?
Yes, she needed the oil can,
fresh lubricant in order to come back to life. Makes you think.
Sure does.
Your Pioneer Valley forecast today going to be a mix of sun and clouds with a high of 39. It is 33 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 8:52 and Nirvana with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Mix of sun and clouds with a high of 38 today. It is 34 right now in downtown Springfield.
We've been talking about it all morning. The Mayflower Marathon begins a week from today, 7 days away. 3 days prior to Thanksgiving, we will be broadcasting for 52 hours starting on Monday, November 24th through Wednesday the 26th from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Wednesday, just outside the South End Market at MGM Springfield. The goal is to fill as many trailers as is humanly possible with non-perishable food for donations for the open pantry. They definitely need your help. And in fact, you can start collecting right now around the neighborhood, at work, at school, even around the house. You can donate online at rock102.com. I want to thank some of our sponsors, including Capital Moving and Storage, Arment Trucking, Xfinity, Camping World of West Hatfield, Michael's Party Rentals, MGM Springfield, and many more. You can get all the details at rock102.com. It's the Mayflower Marathon starting Monday on Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock.
I was at Costco a couple of weeks ago, and you can get like the cases of canned foods, you can get diced tomatoes, you can get green beans, you can get all of that stuff for probably $10 to $12 for an entire case of those things. Case meaning the 12 or whatever it is in the thing. But those are nice and convenient. You don't even have to worry, because you're taking multiple different cans of stuff. It gets a little messy sometimes when you're trying to stack a Dinty Moore on top of a Progresso and things like that doesn't really quite fit.
Well, it's not really playing like Jenga with the cans. I mean, we're just we're putting them in the truck. We're waiting to.
Well, I'm talking about the ease of donating. Instead of stacking a bunch of different types of cans, you can actually get 4 or 5 different products in a nice boxed case that can easily be dropped off. And you don't even have to get out of your car. That's the cool thing about this drop-off system. You come in from Columbus Avenue, and you drive right up to the trailers, and the volunteers will take the stuff out of your trunk for you. You don't even have to get out of the car.
You can if you want to.
Well,
but,
you can.
You don't have to.
No, if you want to go and enjoy the casino or whatever you want to do afterwards. But I'm saying if you're in a rush, you're on your way to work or something like that, you just drive right up. Volunteers will take the stuff right out of your car. It's that simple.
Yeah, that's the one thing we do have. We have quite a bit of volunteers, and that's great. And not just volunteering at the Mayflower Marathon, but there will be need for volunteers at the open pantry, too, to unload the trucks after we're all done.
It is really, I think that was probably eliminating the scanning of everything, of each item, was probably the probably a better decision that we had over the years because
we've simplified it significantly.
Yeah, you simplify it and in and out. We get you in and out. We're like an In-N-Out burger without the burgers.
Right.
And no wait.
Well, that's what matters. By the way, people have been asking, well, are you hoping to beat a record this year? You know what? I mean, that's really not the whole purpose of it, is to be competitive with ourselves or anybody else for that matter. The idea is just do the best we can to feed, the people in Springfield. This is the most important one we've ever done. There's no question about it. The numbers will bear that out. The need is greater than ever before. And hopefully we can, if we beat the record, terrific. It's not necessarily the goal. The goal is to put food on the shelves the next few months.
It's providing food and cash donations for the open pantry. They can also purchase food with your cash donation. And if you can't make it down there, you can always donate online at rock102.com. We'll have that set up for you as well.
Yeah, we got some interviews. Some people are going to be stopping by. Got a lot going on while we're going to be down there.
Speaking of which, I made my plea to Mr. James Taylor over the weekend, and I have not heard back yet.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He's got a website that I submitted a form to.
Right.
And I explained that, as being somewhat of a producer on this show, my co-host was kind of denying me, saying, there's no way you're going to get a guy like James Taylor to come on this program.
Right.
And I said, please help me prove this man wrong.
Yes.
And I still have not heard back. Maybe it's taken a couple of days to read his emails on it.
Well,
I'm sure the guy gets thousands of emails a day.
There's a lot of people that don't even check their emails over the weekend.
Right.
And maybe today is the day he looks at he goes back and let me tackle all these emails.
There's got to be somebody. We got 50,000 people listening to us at like any given time, right? Isn't that what the numbers are?
Yeah, that's about right.
There's got to be somebody out there that at least knows somebody that can get a direct line of communication to one Mr. James Taylor.
You also said Arlo Guthrie, too, because he lives in the area.
Arlo Guthrie, Karen Allen. She has a store out in, I think it's Egremont or Washington or one of those places.
Something like that.
Come on. Help us out here. We are a poor radio station in need of a producer for this show.
Yeah.
And won't you help a poor local radio icon and Massachusetts Broadcasting Award winner step up the game and get us a direct line. If you know a celebrity, a direct line to a celebrity, send me an email, steve@rock102.com.
That would be great.
And I will give you the full credit of the person who got us to the link.
There is an extraordinary amount of famous people who actually do live in this area.
Well, that guy in Southampton, Pratt, what's his name? Benjamin Pratt.
Yeah.
Lives in Southampton.
Is that a fact?
You telling me that one of his neighbors going, hey, those two dopes are talking about you. They want you to come on the radio. All we're looking for is an interview. We're not looking for money. We're not looking. We just want your time.
I mean, if you want to bring money, that would be cool. Juju Smith-Schuster wrote a check once. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, he showed up on a whim.
That was it.
He had other things going on, but then he was like, "Hey, what's going on out here?" And then we educated him.
How many ESPN people are in Bristol, Connecticut right this very moment? I don't see Stephen A. Smith driving up here with a check. $100 million contract. Never seen him donate to the Mayflower Marathon.
I was looking in my Rolodex of names that I have in my phone from over the years.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let's see if I can scroll through and see if we can find it. I had Greg Giraldo. That's not going to work out. I have Jared from Subway. His phone number.
Much,
and Bill Cosby.
Well, he's still around. He could pick up the phone.
Yeah, I don't know if he's really going to be one. I don't think anybody really wants to hear Mr. Cosby's interview.
I don't know. He's got a lot to say.
But there's plenty of celebrities in this area, and it's too late now to get into the semantics of it. But if you know somebody, you got a direct line of communication or even a 3 degrees of separation from somebody, send me an email, steve@rock102.com, and I will give you credit, and I will also give you a Dave Miner koozie.
Wow.
Yeah.
No
How
kidding.
about that?
Wow.
How about that?
Then all that incentive.
Dave Montecucci's a good product.
You don't have to tell me.
Yeah.
It's 9 o'clock on Rock 102.